guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Felicia and I am owner and designer of Allie's Craft Closet, and today I'm going to give you guys a tutorial on how to make these super cute 10-ounce lowball kids dinosaur tumblers. These are one of my best-selling tumblers, so today I figured we might as well go ahead and do a tutorial on how you can recreate these yourself right at home. So before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and of course, hit that notification bell so you never miss a tutorial. Alright, let's get started. Okay everyone, so for the first step, we went ahead and I spray painted this 10-ounce lowball tumbler. For this specific custom order, there was two for a pink tumbler and for a blue dino tumbler. So with this one, we're going to use all different shades of pink. I'm going to be using Ballerina from New England Glitter, Fuchsia from New England Glitter, Pink from New England Glitter, Barbie from New England Glitter, Bubblegum, and lastly Flamingo, and these are all in ultra fine rainbow and metallic glitter. So we're going to go ahead and apply a thin layer of epoxy. I went ahead and mixed 5 milliliters of epoxy, just enough to base coat this tumbler completely. We don't want to apply too much epoxy because then it soaks up too much glitter. So we just want a nice thin coat of epoxy on here. So I'm just going to kind of go like this here. Get that all on there. And I'm going to set that aside because we have the second one that we will do. And I'm just going to spread that epoxy out all over the tumbler. Okay, making sure I get it nice and smooth and even. And then I'm just going to go on with random colors and just hit them. So we're just going to go here. I'm going to put it on nice and thick. Okay, I'm going to put some here. Put some spot here. And then we'll do a little section in the bottom. So we're just going to start off with that. I'm going to go ahead and kind of do a second coat on there. Make sure it's all nice and stuck on there really good. I didn't put a pink base. I was going to do a pink base on here, but the pink spray paint that I had was really dark. So I didn't want it to kind of not show the true colors of the really light colors of glitter that I'm using. So I went with a white base. And that will still give me a good decent amount of coverage as well. Okay. So I'm going to tap that off, get off any of the excess, and then we're just going to alternate from random different colors and just place them all around the tumbler. this one and just kind of, there we go. And then I'm just going to kind of go over the entire cup with this really light pink color and go over it, and it will catch anything on here. It won't harm it because a lot of it's already been covered. I'm just kind of making sure that everything is coated, and whatever has a little bit of extra epoxy seeping through, it will be good. Okay. So I'm just going to give that a good shake here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this, push that up a little bit. There we go. Then I'm going to tap off all the extra. Okay, so now we got a random colors of pink on here. So this way when I go ahead and do it, because like I said, on this specific tumbler, it has like little peekaboo spots on it. It's going to be a peekaboo, so she'll get a variety of different pinks in this tumbler. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry overnight. So welcome back to the next step of our Dino Kids Tumbler. So this is completely sealed with epoxy. As you can see, it's really, really shiny. There was 2 coats put on this, and I just took it off the turner. So now we're going to go ahead and give it a nice light sanding around the bottom rim and the top rim. Clean it with some rubbing alcohol, and then we're going to go ahead and apply our vinyl decals for the peekaboo. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I already went ahead and weeded out my decals and cut them on my Cricut. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in to the sanding part. I'm just using sandpaper. This is a 180 200 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to kind of go around the entire cup. You want to make sure that your tumbler is completely smooth, especially when you are applying a spray painted base top coat over it, because any lumps and bumps you will see through that white paint. Place our dinosaur. As you see, there is no teeth on this dinosaur. So because the teeth are so small, my Cricut machine actually eats them. It doesn't really cut them out that great. So I have a fun trick myself that I do, which we'll show you on the next step. So yes, there is no teeth, but you will see what I do to make teeth once we go ahead and spray paint over the decals. This is 651 Oracle vinyl. However, you can use temporary, non-permanent vinyl, scraps or whatever. I just kind of just grabbed it and go. It doesn't really matter what color because you're peeling that vinyl off anyway after you place it. I'm going to look on here and find where there's like the most colorful on here. I'm going to do it right here for the dinosaur part because this has a lot that is open. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on here because that will give us the most colorful spot. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set that just like that. I'm going to grab my transfer tape here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that right over it. I'm going to grab my squeegee. And we're just going to squeegee that with some pressure here. So these cups, so this is, I believe, the third step. And we're on like, I don't know, it's been like 3 or 4 days between glittering, letting it dry, epoxying, letting it dry, and now we're decaling. So these tumblers do take 3 to 5 days to make, and then another 2 days for them to actually cure before sending them out. So again, I said we're going to go do it right about here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and find where I want that. I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of just put it right here for a second. There we go. And I want to make sure I place this as even as possible. Not too high and not too low, because I'm also going to be adding drips. So once it's on there, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to work my way around, going from one side of the vinyl to the other and just laying it down nice and flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and just peel back. And what I do is I grab from the top and I keep my transfer tape as close to the tumbler as possible. So I'm literally like, there's no space in between, and I'm just pulling it back, and that helps keep the decal down and helps without causing air bubbles underneath your vinyl. So you're just going to slowly peel it back just like so. And of course your transfer tape is probably going to want to curl, but that is okay. So there is the decal, and I'm just going to go over it with my finger and really make sure that that vinyl is down snug to the tumbler, because when we spray paint it, we want to make sure that there's no air bubbles, there's no lifted spots, because spray paint will seep underneath that vinyl, and it could, one, start to make your vinyl pull up completely, and it also can give you white spray paint where you don't want it and kind of ruin your design. So I'm just going to make sure that that is down really, really well. So there we go. So there's the first part. So the next part is I always do my claws first, the feet. So we're going to go ahead and apply that, place that down, grab my squeegee. Guys, I just got new squeegees in and some new weeding tools, and they work amazing. I am so excited for these. I've been using this for the last few minutes working on tumblers, and it is so much easier than my small one, little Cricut squeegee. Okay, so we're going to peel that back just like so. Okay, so then what I do is I look just like this at an angle, find where the center of that tumbler is, and then that's where I'm going to go ahead and apply the feet. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of feet on here. So I'm going to find that center line, and that's where I'm going to kind of vision where that center line is. And that's where I'm going to place my feet. Okay. I meant to move these a little bit closer because they're kind of really spaced out for this size tumbler, but like I said, it still works for my peekaboo. And then again, I'm going to start to pull it really close. No, not lifting up. I am literally flush with the tumbler. And then there's that part. Okay, and again, I'm just going to go in and make sure those are really adhered to the tumbler. Just make sure you press them on. Really good. So there's the back, the front, and then right directly in the back, you have the paw, the footprints, claws, feet, whatever you want to call them. All right, so then I have some scratch marks that I went ahead and I cut out. I have large and then I have smaller ones. I just randomly place those over the cup. I try to keep the design symmetrical on every tumbler that I make in this design, just so this way people Don't be like, oh, well, that one doesn't look like what it looks like in the picture. So I try to keep my placement the same every time. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take a big one, and I'm going to go ahead and place it up here. And then peel my transfer tape. I'm going to go ahead and make sure those are on there. So there's that part. I'm going to go ahead and take the second other large one. And then we're going to come over here and I'm going to place it down there. And peel back. Okay, so there's a scratch mark on that side. And then what I normally like to do is I normally like to add a scratch mark underneath here. This one I made a little bit bigger, which I should have made it probably smaller because I usually like to put a scratch mark underneath here, but one's not going to fit completely underneath there without touching. So all I do is I'm going to take my smaller one and I just put it on whichever side. So like I kind of just put it at an angle and then I just fold it over the bottom. And then I carefully pull back my transfer. But like I said, normally I can fit almost a half of one straight up and down, but this one I made the decal a little bit bigger. So there's a scratch mark and it continues to go under. Then you have your decal. Sometimes I like to put one on the bottom here. I have one left over, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this one. And I'm going to randomly place it on the bottom. And there we go. Okay, so now the next step to this is, let me go ahead and find the backing to my transfer tape here. Oh, did I throw it on the ground? I hope not. I probably did. But that's okay, so I'll just stick it to this for now. So I want to be able to reuse that transfer tape. Okay, so now that you have your decals on, again, we're going to go ahead and make sure that these are really on here really, really well, because we don't want any of the spray paint to leak underneath and cause bleeding underneath the transfer. So as you can see up close, there's really no lifting or air bubbles in that vinyl because this cup is really, really smooth. Even after I just sanded it, it's even more smooth. So now the next step is what we're going to do is I'm going to spray paint this entire tumbler with a white primer spray paint, and then I'm going to go ahead and let it dry, and we will be back. So bear with me and we'll be right back. So there we go. So there's Ellie's. You can see the really pretty ombre, the light pink to the dark pink. Again, you got the dark pink, and then you got the ombre with the feet. You got a beautiful ombre right here with that claw mark. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do the teeth part. This is really easy. Don't let it scare you. It's really not as bad as most people think, as long as you can pretty much draw a longer triangle line. You should be perfectly fine. So with this one, I go in with one of my, these are like dental tools. I'm going to go in with one of these, and I'm going to etch my teeth mark in. So pretty much all I do is I take my tool and I go in and I scratch into that white paint and design the teeth. So I start off with the outside mouth first. I'm just going to make sure my tip of my point is where I need it to be straight. So all I do is I hold my close. Maybe I might use this one. This one has sometimes, I gotta wrap something around this one. No, I'll go in with this one. That's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna start scratching teeth mark in. Teeth mark. Like, just like that. See? It's literally super easy, guys. So there is his teeth, like literally guys, super easy. Like you don't even have to make them all the same, you know, they're all different. Almost there. Alright, so jumping back in real quick. Again, we're going to grab our Q-tips and we're going to go ahead and start creating those peekaboo spots. Okay, so I'm just going around the rim. Just like you saw before, around the rim. Just like so. Tap back in there. And then I'm going to make a drip over here. Kind of just push it down. And then we're going to continue going around. The tumbler. Okay. Make a big one over on this side. And I'm going to be sure to suck all that acetone up so it doesn't keep peeling. And then I'm going to go down a little bit and just kind of go up on this side. Just make them really oddly shaped. There's no, like I said, there's no wrong way to do it. So there's this one, and I'm just going to spin it as I clean. And this is a nice hot pink spot. Okay, I'm going to add in another one over here, and this one I'm just going to go kind of sideways. This one's going to be a smaller spot. Okay, and then we'll come in over here, and we will add in another one, and we'll make this one kind of a odd shaped, kind of looks like a K almost. Okay, so there's my random peekaboos. So now I'm going to go in and we're going to create those peekaboos on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go in here just randomly and kind of just blend that out. Just like so. And this, guys, I only used 3 so far in this one. Then we're going to go over here, and I'm going to actually make this one rise a little bit, coming up, just like so. Okay, so we're going to come on this side, and I'm going to open up another one, and this one's just going to kind of be right here directly on the bottom, just a random opening. You know, we can do one here, kind of come up a little bit. Okay, and then you got your peekaboo there. I'm going to go in and clean this one up a little bit more, get that fog off. Okay, maybe make this one a teeny bit bigger. Spots are nice and clean, which they are. So there we go, guys. So there is the pink one. We pulled all the decals, we made our drip spots, added our peekaboo spots, and even to the bottom. So these are going to be all set to put on the turner, and we are going to go ahead and flood coat these, and then I will add my decal at the bottom and then give my final seal, and I will be back when these are done.